everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am joined today with my little boy Joshua, who is just here. I usually get all my filming done when he's in nursery, but he has got hand, foot and mouth at the moment, so we are having a nursery free week. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube at the moment doing the controversial parenting tag, and I really enjoy watching the videos, so I thought I would make one too. Peppa Pig's on in the background, which is what you can hear, and Joshua is chomping away at his lunch.
Oh, say hello, look at his face, oh my goodness. So cool.
So, I'm just going to get straight into it. I have all the topics on my phone here, so if you see me looking at my phone, then that's why. So the first topic is pro-life versus pro-choice. I am very pro-choice. I think sometimes babies are created when they were meant to be created, and some people just aren't ready. And I think it's up to the mother, you know, from when that life is created, that person is the responsible parent, guardian, and I think you know, that there are circumstances where it wouldn't be right to bring a baby into the world, and I think that's why it's so important that women do get the choice these days, so that children aren't brought up in circumstances and in environments that they shouldn't really be brought up in. So I'm very pro-choice. Next one is baby wearing. I'm all for baby wearing. I think it's great. It's so handy. You can be hands-free. Unfortunately, when I had Josh, I couldn't baby wear. It was just too much weight on my stomach after having a cesarean. But I did buy a sling and I did intend to baby wear. I just think it's great, and I think it would have been so handy if I could have done it. And I just think whatever works for you as a parent, and if you want to wear your child, then wear your child. If you want to put them in a pram, put them in a pram. It's nobody else's choice, is it? So I'm pro baby wearing. Next one is circumcision. I know a lot of people choose circumcision because of their religion or their culture, and again, that's a personal choice. I personally wouldn't circumcise my son. I don't agree with changing a child's body permanently without that child being old enough to know what's going on and to be old enough to want it and consent to it, unless it needs doing for medical purposes. I'm a big believer in children shouldn't really be forced into things if they don't want to do it, especially things like circumcision and other things like that. I know a lot of people do it because of their religion, their beliefs. I wouldn't do it with my child. And so that is my view on circumcision. Next one is adoption. I am so pro-adoption. It's just fantastic for women, couples that are struggling to have children. I think it's just the most beautiful thing. And I don't think that you are a mother because your child is your blood, has got your blood. I think it's all about the person that brings them up, the person that's there rubbing their back when they're sick, the person that's there wiping their cut and putting a plaster on their knee. That's the sort of things that make you a mum, not blood. And I think that adoption is just absolutely bloody fantastic for people that struggle to have children themselves. I just think it's great. I'm so pro-adoption. Next one, baby piercings. This is gonna be, I'm sorry, but I'm so anti-piercing a baby's ears. I don't understand people that want to pierce their tiny little baby's ears. Leave them alone. Just leave them alone. They're so beautiful as they are. Why would you want to pierce a baby's ears? I don't understand it. Again, goes back to my views on circumcision. I don't believe in permanently changing a child's body, like piercings or circumcision, until they're old enough to know what's going to happen and to consent and to want it themselves. I don't believe, unless obviously for medical purposes, I don't believe in pinning a baby down and piercing their ears when they're so little. I just think it's so cruel and it's so unnecessary, and I just think it's for the parents' benefit. It's not benefiting that child, it's completely for the parents' benefit, and I don't understand why they would want it done, because a baby is beautiful without their ears pierced. So I am so anti-ear piercing. I know that may offend some people that have their child's ears pierced. It's up to you. I personally wouldn't do it, and I personally don't agree with piercing a child's ears, especially a baby. Sorry, not a child, a baby. I think they need to be old enough to understand what's going to happen, and old enough to want it and consent to it. I don't think a baby should be pinned down and have a needle shoved through their ears. I just think it's I don't agree with it. Next one is breast milk versus formula milk. Fed. That's it for me. That's, again, very controversial, but I do honestly believe that fed is best. It doesn't matter how you feed your child, so long as you are feeding your child. I never, ever breastfed Joshua. I didn't want to. I didn't feel completely comfortable. I felt like it was really, I know it's a really natural thing, and for people that want to do it, it's like, good for you. That is fantastic, and I'm so happy for you. But I'm also just as happy for somebody that wants to bottle feed their child. It's completely personal preference. So long as you're feeding your baby and they have full bellies, then who matters how they get fed? Like I said, I didn't breastfeed Joshua. He's happy, he's healthy, and I just think it's completely down to what you feel comfortable with and how you want to do it. There are pros and there are cons to each, but I think so long as your child is fed, who cares? The next one is spanking. I'm a bit on the fence with spanking. I'm not really pro spanking. I'm not really against spanking. I'm sort of on the fence. Joshua's not at an age where we need to have quite structured behavioural strategies in place, so I haven't really used any sort of behavioural strategy with him yet, other than a bit of time out in his cot. So I haven't personally spanked Joshua yet. I think it's going to be one of those things that I'm not going to resort to spanking my child. I think I would rather steer away from it if I can. I don't think it role models very good respect to hit another person, no matter whether you're an adult or you're a child. I want to teach him that it's wrong to hit. But I can't really comment on it because I haven't got to a point where my child just pushed me until I'm at the end of my tether. So I think, again, it's what works for you. Whatever behavioural strategies work for you as a family, what works for your child, so long as it is a light spank and not a punch or a kick, I think it's not so bad. I personally would rather steer away from it, but I'm not massively against people that do it. I think it's, again, completely down to personal choice. Next one is co-sleeping. Co-sleeping is something that before I had children, I said, I'm never going to co-sleep, he's never going to sleep in my bed, he's always going to sleep in his own cot, I'm not going to create a rod for my own back. And I can quite honestly sit here and say Joshua has co-slept on a number of occasions, because sometimes that's the only way you're going to get any sleep. The other night, just before Joshua's hand, foot and mouth spots came up, he was really unsettled and slept in our bed. I think so long as you're trying to do it in as safe a way as you possibly can, it's not so bad. It's not something that it's not something I encourage with Joshua, but if needs must, then I will co-sleep. Sorry, Peppa Pig's on. But if needs must, then I will. I'm not horrendously against it anymore. If I have to, I will, but I would rather him sleep in his cot. The next one is homeschool versus public school versus private school versus charter schooling. Well, we don't have charter schooling in the UK, so it would be home versus public versus private. I think, again, it's whatever works for you, whatever works for your family. I haven't got the patience to homeschool. I haven't got the money to private school, so Joshua will probably go to a public school. I went to a public school, I got a really, really good education, I came out with really good grades. I think that there are really, really, really good public schools out there these days, so long as you go and have a look around and you are comfortable with whatever school or type of schooling you choose for your child, so long as it's the best choice for you, the best choice for your child, I think do whatever you want. The next one is vaccinations. I'm pro-vaccinations all the way, and Joshua's vaccinated against everything. I think it's so important to vaccinate your child against all these really nasty, life-threatening diseases, and I think it's really, what's the word? Irresponsible, and I think it's really irresponsible, and I think it's really selfish to not vaccinate your child, not only because you're putting your own child at risk, you're putting other people's children at risk. These diseases are so dangerous and potentially life-threatening, and I don't understand why you wouldn't want to vaccinate your child against these things, because they can be so dangerous. So I vaccinated Joshua against everything. I'm very pro-vaccination. I'm very against people that don't vaccinate. I just think it's a really selfish and irresponsible decision to make. The next one is medicating children. I medicate Joshua if he has got a cold or he has got a temperature, he's feeling under the weather, then I will give him a little bit of Calpol or teething granules or whatever it is that he might need. I know some people are against it and they think you should leave the body to naturally get rid of whatever's going on. I'm not against that. I just think, for me personally, I'd rather give him a little bit of Calpol or something that's just going to help how uncomfortable he's feeling. So again, I think it's personal choice. If you want to leave your child for the body to run its course naturally, that's great. If you'd rather help them along the way and medicate them, that's also fine. I'm one of the medicating crew. Like I said, give him something if he needs it, but I can understand why some people necessarily choose not to. The next one is cloth versus disposable diapers, nappies. I've used disposable nappies. I think they're great. They're a lot less messy. I don't have a strong enough stomach to do the whole cloth diapers thing and pulling poo off the nappies. I've got a pretty strong stomach, but not strong enough for that. So I am big for disposable diapers, nappies, whatever you want to call them. But again, I think it's personal preference. If you have got the patience and the stomach to pull poo off a cloth nappy, then great, good for you. If that's what you want to do for your child, then that's fantastic. If you want to use disposable, that's also great. Again, whatever works for you. And the last one is the cry it out method. So we don't use the cry it out method. I'm not a massive believer in cry it out until they're making themselves sick. I just think it's really, I don't know, I just think it's a bit cruel, leaving them to scream and scream and scream and scream and scream until they're at the point where they're making themselves sick. Control crying's a little bit different, where you let them cry for a little bit, you go in, you let them cry for a little bit. Recently we've had to introduce a little bit of the control crying, but it has literally been less than 10 minutes worth of having to do the whole control crying. We do steer a little bit more towards... Are you talking about Peppa Pig? We do steer a little bit more towards the gentle parenting methods. That works best for us, but again, I do think it's whatever works for you as a family, whatever works for your child. I personally think if you were going to do cry out or something like that, controlled crying might be a little bit better than just leaving them really upset for long periods of time. But again, you're the parent, it's your decision on what you want to do, but we tend to steer more towards the gentle methods of parenting. So that is everything. Those are all the taboo subjects on the controversial parenting tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got this little munch. This little munch is trying to sit on my knee. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Look at your nose. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and like and subscribe. And we will see you again soon, guys. Bye.